All right, college football and stuff here. I will be going over the second half of the college football bowl games being played this year. I'm going to save the playoff games for a separate video. I'm going to cover everything else in this one. All right, first up on Wednesday, December 30th, the Duke's Mayo Bowl, Wake Forest versus Wisconsin. That's 12 o'clock on ESPN. Wisconsin, a 9.5-point favorite. I've wanted to like Wake this season. I really wanted them to do better, especially these past, they've had a real up and down season. They had a couple of good games, but these past couple of games, they did not play great. Wisconsin did not play amazing towards the end of the year either, but I do think Wisconsin is the better team. If they can keep things together, I think Wisconsin gets the win here and does it by enough to cover. 9.5 points is an okay spot for a spread because 10 points is pretty common point differential there. I'm going to take Wisconsin minus the 9.5. I don't super trust Wisconsin either, though, but that's where I fell on that game. Florida versus Oklahoma, the Cotton Bowl, also on the 30th. That's 8 o'clock on ESPN. Oklahoma, a 3.5-point favorite. And man, I would have taken Florida all day in this game, but Florida without a few of its best offensive players, no Kyle Pitts, no Tony. I think they have another wide receiver that's been injured and another one who's sitting out. 4 of their top receiving targets not playing in this game. I think that's going to be an issue for Florida against an Oklahoma defense that has been playing better. I do not trust Florida's defense enough to stop Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma gets the win. I think they can probably get a win by around a touchdown in this game. I do think they're going to get some stops in there, and it's really going to come down to Florida not having some of those offensive targets. I think if at least one of those guys was going to be there, I think if you had Kyle Pitts or Kadarius Toney in this game, that Florida plus the points would be a very tempting pick. But with them not playing, give me Oklahoma minus the 3.5. Moving on to Thursday, December 31st, New Year's Eve. Tulsa versus Mississippi State, the Armed Forces Bowl. That's 12 o'clock on ESPN. Tulsa, a 2.5-point favorite, and I think that's probably a good spot. Mississippi State can play well. We've seen them play some good games. I think Tulsa is a pretty balanced team, though. I think they are a pretty good team. I think they can get the win here. I do not trust Mississippi State in this game. They're just a team where if you can slow down their offense, you really, really hurt the team. You saw it in that Auburn game, I think. Auburn was able to do just enough on defense to keep Mississippi State from being able to score easy points. And eventually, Auburn was able to get some scores, and that put the game away. And I think you're going to see something similar in this game. I think Tulsa gets a good win. Give me Tulsa minus the 2.5. Next up, the Arizona Bowl, Ball State versus San Jose State, 2 o'clock on CBS. San Jose, a 9.5-point favorite. I think that's a couple too many points. I would probably, if I was picking straight up, pick San Jose to win this game, but Ball State has impressed me, especially towards the end of the year, and that win against Buffalo is looking like a very good win. Well, I think Buffalo is a good team, and Ball State beating them was a nice win for them. I think if Ball State loses this game, it's a close loss. Give me Ball State plus the 9.5 there. We have the Liberty Bowl, West Virginia versus Army, 4 o'clock on ESPN. West Virginia, a 7-point favorite. I have been not shy about my love for Army this season. I think Army has played really well. I think they are a good team. I think 7 points is too many points against a good Army team. Give me Army plus the 7 points in that game. I think Army can keep it close. They do such a good job of ball control. You really, really have to be prepared to shut down their offense too, running that triple option attack. Yeah, give me Army plus the 7. Moving on to the first New Year's Day. First up, we have the Peach Bowl, Georgia versus Cincinnati, 12 o'clock on ESPN. Georgia, a 7-point favorite. Now, I have really liked Cincinnati, but I do think Georgia is a bad matchup for them. Georgia just has elite talent on both sides of the ball. I do not think the style of football that Cincinnati plays, they are a really good team. They are a very group of 5 team. They don't play any gimmicks. They play very consistent, I would say like standard football. And I don't think that matches up well against a Georgia team that is going to have a good defense, that has looked much better on offense with JT Daniels, that I think is just going to be able to play the same style of football that Cincinnati is and just be a little bit better at every position. And that's going to be the game. Give me Georgia minus a 7 in that one. I really like that just under a touchdown because I do think Cincinnati is a good team and there's a chance they keep this close. But I just think Georgia is better. Give me Georgia minus a 7. Then my Auburn team versus Northwestern in the Citrus Bowl, 1 o'clock on ABC. Northwestern, a 3-point favorite. And according to ESPN, Auburn is a big FPI favorite. I think they were a 60% favorite in ESPN's FPI to win that game. Now, I'm going to do something a little bit different in this pick mostly because I didn't want to pick against Auburn, and I do think Northwestern has a really, really good defense. I think Auburn is going to struggle to score points in this game. I think Northwestern is also going to struggle to score points. They do not have a very good offense, and Auburn has a pretty good defense. I think this is going to be a very close, low-scoring game. We'll see how much the coaching turnover affects Auburn. I think the players will be up for the game. I think having a new head coach picked gives them a little bit more stability and a little bit more confidence to just go out there and play, take some stuff off their minds. But for me, I think the issue with Auburn is going to be all of the other coaches. Are they going to be replaced? Assuming now it looks like Kevin Steele is going to be gone. He's the interim head coach. The defensive coordinator, it looks like he's not going to be coming back. Offensive coordinators, all of the lower staffers, are they really in it? That's my big question for Auburn. I would love to see Auburn get a nice win here. I think both these teams playing at their best. I think Auburn could at least keep it close, if not get a win. But the over-under in this game, 43.5. I think that is way too many points. I don't think either of these teams is going to hit 20. I think you're going to see like an 18, or not 18, probably like a 19-13 type game, something like that. I think both these teams stay under 20 points. My pick for this game is going to be the under on the over-under. I'm going under 43.5. Moving on to the second, NC State versus Kentucky in the Gator Bowl. That's 12 o'clock on ESPN. Kentucky a 2.5-point favorite. I really liked Kentucky. I wanted to pick Kentucky, but I do not trust them. They looked like they had turned the corner and were playing better, and then they've just consistently struggled on offense, scoring points. I think Kentucky is probably a slightly better team than NC State, but I've liked NC State as well. I think NC State has been a more consistent team. Give me NC State plus the 2.5 in that one, but I would like to see Kentucky win. So, Ole Miss versus Indiana, the Outback Bowl. That's 12:30 on ABC. Indiana an 8.5-point favorite. And, man, I think Indiana is a really good team. I think they get the win. I wish this spread was under a touchdown because I know Ole Miss can score points. I think Ole Miss's defense is going to let them down in this game. I think they're going to be able to put up some points, but not enough. I think Indiana is going to be able to score and get a couple of stops. I'm taking Indiana minus the 8.5 just because I do think Indiana is a really good team. Ole Miss could surprise you in that game, though. Dude, I'm not super confident in that pick. If Ole Miss's offense gets going, they can blow Indiana out. Indiana, I do not think, has an offense that's designed to score a ton of points, to score quickly. If they cannot slow Ole Miss down, they do not have a shot in this game. If it's a real shootout, I think Ole Miss wins. But I'm going to take Indiana minus the 8.5. Oregon versus Iowa State in the Fiesta Bowl, 4 o'clock on ESPN. Oregon coming off a nice win over USC in the Pac-12 championship game. Iowa State a 4-point favorite. I was impressed with Oregon. I said that after they lost that Oregon State game, I was very mad at Oregon about that. That was a bad game by them. They've really kind of bounced back from it, though. I think they're playing better. I think Oregon has a very young, very talented team. They're going to be a team to watch next year. I'm going to take Oregon plus the 4 points there. I think Oregon has a shot in that game, so give me Oregon plus the points. Last up, Texas A&M versus North Carolina in the Orange Bowl, 8 o'clock on ESPN. Texas A&M a 7.5-point favorite, and I think Texas A&M gets a good win there. NC State has a few players opting out, some of their better running backs, and that's really the bulk of their offense and the games that they've done really well in. It's been because the running game has really clicked. I think Texas A&M is well set up to slow them down. They have a good defense. They've shown that they can hold some of these really talented SEC teams to lower points. They beat Florida. I don't think North Carolina is a consistent enough team. I think Texas A&M is pretty good. Give me Texas A&M minus 7.5. I think Texas A&M gets it done there. All right, that's it for the second half of the bowl games here in the 2020 season. I'm going to do another video for just the playoff games, and then I will do one covering the national championship. That will be later on, of course. If you enjoyed this video, click the like button. If you want to see those upcoming pick videos, subscribe to the channel. And otherwise, I will see you next time.